Okay, gang.
Oh.
Couple of sections to cover today. Pretty simple, honestly. I already told you you want a calculator handy today. We're going to look at 6.2 and 6.3. Still going to be on this idea of looking at rates and ratios and comparing fractions, if you will. Or we talked about, are these ratios equivalent? That's a lot of what we're going to talk about. Guys, give me a fraction that's equivalent to 1/2.
1/2.
How much? 4 over 8. Guys agree that 1/2 and 4 over 8 are equal?
Yes.
Okay. You would divide them out, you would get the same decimal. They're equivalent, right? Well, I'm going to show you a different way to talk about equivalent ratios today. And what I want to get at today is this, guys. Solving proportions right here. How many of you heard this word right here before? Solving, how many of you have heard that word before? Anybody recall what a proportion is? Anybody recall what a proportion is? Okay, well, we'll look at that here in a little bit. But it says solving proportions using what here, kiddos? Cross products, all right? Let's just talk about this idea right here. We said that 1/2 might be equivalent to 4 over what? What'd you say, Chelsea? 4 over 8? Okay. How many of you say, yeah, I think that's a true statement?
Yes.
Okay, and we've verified stuff in calculators in the past. Say, let's just turn these to decimals and see if they are indeed equivalent. So if I would come up here and say, well, you know what? If I take 1 and divide it by 2, because fractions are really division, right, guys?
Yep.
If I get 1 divided by 2, what do I get as a decimal?
0.5.
Well, if I go 4 divided by 8, what do you get? 0.5. Okay? Now there's another way, and actually an easier way to check and see if ratios are equivalent or if fractions are equivalent. And if you notice back here in your top, or your first page of your notes right here, it says solve proportions up top in the title using what?
Proportion.
Well, solving proportions using, what's the phrase after that in your title? Using cross products. I'm going to go back to this right here. Cross products means this. First of all, what's the word product mean? What operation am I indicating? Multiplication, you bet. Let's look at this cross product. What's 2 times 4?
4 is 8.
One cross product here would be 8. Check this cross product out. What's 8 times 1 equal?
8.
Oh my gosh. We said 1/2 and 4/8 were equivalent. Okay? Said 1/2 and 4/8 were equivalent, right? If they're equivalent, what's true about their cross products?
They equal the same.
They're the same thing.
Feel so good.
So here's a question for you. Is 3/4 equivalent to, say, 2/3? Well, if I didn't have a calculator and I couldn't divide stuff out, I could check by cross products. How about your 4 times 2 right here? What's that cross product? John, why don't you head down to the nurse?
Oh, I was going to grab a garbage can from you.
Why don't you head on down? Okay, what's this cross product right here?
9.
Cross products equal?
No.
No. So therefore, are those ratios equal? No. Okay? All right, so let's get to the meat of the matter here today, guys. Again, our goal is going to start talking about proportions. Proportions simply are going to be down here 2 equal what? 2 equal ratios, okay? Our goal is to model and solve problems using proportions. I'll show you how to set that up here in a second. But understand this, we're kind of setting one fraction equal to another fraction, okay? Make sense? So we're really going to be comparing one fraction to another fraction, all right? So let's get through the vocab right here. Vocab-wise, who wants to help me with this? I'm going to volunteer to read this for me. Let's go green today. I like green color.
What do we read?
All right, vocab first for me. First of all, a ratio. We already know what a ratio is. How about a volunteer to read what a ratio is for me right up top there?
I got it.
Go ahead, Mason.
Comparison of 2 values.
Comparison of 2 values. When we talk about right here, the ratio of boys to girls. Compare the number of boys to the number of girls. Isn't that 2 different values?
Yes.
Okay, obviously there's more girls in here than there are boys, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we know what a ratio is. We know what that is. Cross products. We already talked about what a cross product is. It says multiplying diagonally when you have two equal ratios. Maybe right in here you might want to write 1 over 2 equals 5 over what?
5 over 10.
What are the cross products in that proportion?
5 times 2.
5 times 2 would be what?
10. And 10 times
1 times 10 would be what?
10.
So is it okay if I write down CP, standing for cross product, is what? Isn't the cross product 10 there?
Yeah.
Is the cross product the same both ways?
Yeah.
Therefore, if the cross product is the same both ways, that means they're equal, right? And anytime you have two equal ratios, what's the word we use right down here? Proportion. Simply two equal ratios. So vocab-wise, when I start using the terms ratios, cross products, and proportions, will you be able to follow me through the rest of this here? Understand what it is that I'm talking about today? Yachty or naughty?
What are you just for, Mr. Person?
All dressed up for? You mean dressed down for today?
Okay.
I'm tired of wearing a tie every day.
Same pants as I am. Just look.
Pretty much. I'm tired of wearing a tie every day, okay?
Okay.
And I gotta dress, Fridays are supposed to be casual days around here, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Carson has game day all the time, right? So Mr. Carson has to do it on Fridays. I'll be really honest with you. Here's what happened last night. Annie got hurt last night. She split her chin open, so we took her to the ER. So last night was a pretty late night at the Carson house, and I didn't get out of bed on time, so I kind of shortcut some stuff. But hey,
Wait.
I wore my trigonometry shirt. At least I got the right shirt for the class, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How did she split her chin?
Yeah, she got pushed, and it's a long story. Guys, right here, tell what are the following form of proportion. You're going to hear me ask this question a lot. What is it about proportions that makes them equal? What are we looking at now? We're not turning them to decimals anymore, but we're looking at their, what's the phrase?
Portions.
Cross
Cross.
products, okay? So I'm going to rewrite this right here. In part A, I want to know, do they form a proportion? In other words, is 9 over 51 equal to 6 over 34? Let's check it out. We have this first one, 9 over 51. And I want to know if that's equal to 6 over 34. Okay, so who would do this cross product for me? 51 times what?
That's 306.
306, right? I'm going to put a 306 up here. Okay, how about this cross product? 34 times 9.
306.
306. What's true about your cross products each time? They're the same. So if they're the same, the question goes back and says, are they a proportion? What are you going to say? Yes, it is a proportion. What would your reasoning be then? They're a proportion because
They
both
equal
equal.
306.
what is they? When you say they, what they are the same, but what is that thing that you're talking about being the same?
The
Cross
fraction.
proportion.
The
The
ratio.
cross
Product.
products are equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. These form a proportion. Cross products, I'm going to write cross. Anytime I write CP, it means what?
Cross product.
Cross products are equal. So, yes, it is a proportion. Let's look at part B right here. Let's see if 12 over 20 and 32 over 50 are equivalent by using cross products. Does this form a proportion? Oops, not 52. It should be 50 in the denominator, right? Okay, how about this? I know that 20 times 32 is 640. 12 times 50 is that 600.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about your cross products here?
No.
Okay, so I could write cross products are not equal. And you don't have to do this on assignment, but I'm just justifying. Are the cross products the same or different?
Different.
Cross products are not the same. So therefore I'm saying, hey, two ratios given up there, are they a proportion? The answer would be what? No. Okay, Brandon?
It's supposed to be aren't, not or not.
Are not? Aren't.
Aren't.
Isn't aren't a
sounds-
contraction for are not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I say are not?
Aren't.
Aren't?
Yeah, aren't is a contraction for are not, so technically you
We
can
no
put are or
need
not.
English for math.
Huh?
We no need English for math.
Yes, you do.
Not really.
You want to know why? I've already told you this story, Brandon. I remember when my high school days, I wasn't the best at English. I told you that I'll never use this. I'll never have to use speech. I'll never be public speaking. Guess what my job entails every single day now?
Yay.
Better talk correctly. If not, Okay.
Don't
So-
you talk incorrectly to Miss Jensen? all
Yeah,
the
half
time,
your
though?
face says yes.
It's intentional talk. Gets under her skin. Makes that funny. Don't you?
Mr. Parson, when you were standing right there, half your face said yes on there.
Sweet. Hey, let's back up to what I was trying to get at. We said the cross products here. What's this symbol mean?
No, equal.
They are not equal. So I'm going to say do the two ratios form a proportion.
And it says it on your shirt now. It says yes.
Okay. Understand the difference between two? Understand the difference between two?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, go on those four down below. Tell me which ones are proportions and which ones are not. Take a minute. Check with the neighbor, see if you've got them. If you disagree, talk about what it is you disagree about.
What are you doing?
Taking this down.
Yeah. Training for next year soon. I don't know yet. Things are a little rough. Things are a little rough right now. Yeah.
Guys, if you don't like the way I've written them in there, rewrite them and then do your cross products. Bless you. What's that, Johnny?
For the first one on your own,
Yep.
they're equal.
What?
Yep. Why are they equal? Let me ask this question. What was your cross product each time?
3, 42.
Okay, so 42 and 42, right? You guys say yes on the first one?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys agree the cross products were 42? 42 and 42?
Yeah.
So they're the same, right?
Yep.
This one right here, you went 14 times 20. 14 times 20. Did you guys get 280? What'd you get for 8 and 35? 280 again? Same or different?
Same.
So is it a proportion?
Yes.
Yeah. Next one's different. And then next one's same.
Okay, 6 and 16 is 96, right? 11 and 9 was 99.
Yeah.
Those are very different, aren't they?
Yeah.
So no. What were your cross products with 24 and 10 and 15 and 16? Did you get 240 each time? How many got 240 each time?
Yeah.
Good. So what was my solution here?
Yes.
Okay, my first question to you is this. Can you look at two ratios and apply cross products to understand if the two ratios form a proportion or do not form a proportion? Can you look at two ratios and determine if they
Yes.
form a proportion?
Yeah.
And what's the process?
You can divide them.
Compare the cross products,
Yes.
okay? All right. Well, let's talk about why this is important then. What are we really going to do with proportions right here? Okay? Guys, when we talk about properties of proportions right here, we have words. And we've already talked about what words mean for proportions right here. In words, we already know that proportions simply mean cross products are what? They are equal, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the cross products are equal. So in numbers, we've already looked at this right here. We're said given that 2/5 is equal to 6/15, so it means that 2 times 15 is equal to 5 times 6. What is 2 times 15 again? What is 2 times 15 again?
2 times 15.
30 equals, what's 5 times 6? Well, 30, right? Okay. Now in algebra, all we're going to do in algebra is replace the numbers with variables. All right? I think if you see what happens here, you'll understand what's going on. I think if you see what's happening here, we'll understand what's going on. And we'll look at some examples to solve proportions together, and I'll show you how to do this. Example 2 talks about you earning a certain amount of money. We have a certain rate here. It says in this problem, you know what? You earn $24 in what?
2 hours.
2 hours of work. It says how much money will you earn in 6.5 hours of work, okay? Here's the deal. Right here, you're told what? What do you know there?
You'll make $24 in 2 hours.
You're given a rate. You made $24 in 2 hours of work, okay? So guys, the information that they give you to start with is very important, all right? And let me explain to you why. The way I've set this up here, guys, up top I'm comparing the amount of money I'm making to the amount of time I'm working. In other words, I'm comparing dollars to what other unit down here below?
2 hours.
Hours, right? I'm comparing dollars to hours, okay? Now, if proportions are going to be equivalent, we're also going to talk about this idea of equal rates. Here's what I'm talking about. If I set a proportion up right here, and I say, you know what, we're going to compare dollars to hours with this given information up here in blue, I'm going to set this equal to another ratio right here, but I better be comparing the same darn thing. So on the left, I'm comparing dollars to hours on the left. What do I need to compare in this other rate over here to keep this equivalent? Dollars to what again? Dollars to hours, right? Okay. We can use proportional reasoning to solve problems very similar to this, and this is how it's going to work, all right? We already know we earned $24 in what?
2 hours.
2 hours. The question goes on to say, how much money will you earn in 6.5 hours? This other bit of information they give us is 6.5 hours, right?
Yep.
Now, if I'm comparing dollars to hours on the left, I should be comparing dollars to hours on the right. So this 6.5 hours that they want you to find the amount of money you've earned in that time frame for, where is that 6.5 going to go in relationship to the way we've set up the second rate? Is 6.5 hours going to go in for money, or is it going to go in for hours down below?
Money.
Okay. What?
Hours.
I was going to say, you are wearing a Packers shirt, so I understand that answer that just came out of your mouth, all right? Woo!
Make it to the playoffs.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're tied for first place already for next year.
Mr. Person, have you figured out the problem yet?
Yeah, I have. Where does 6.5 go again? Top or bottom, guys?
Bottom.
Because it's a time frame, right? So I'm going to put 6.5 down here. Put it in decimal form like this. Now,
Yeah, we did.
let's forget the units on this, okay? I want to show you how to solve this. Okay, forget the units on this. Do you guys really agree that this is 24 over
Yes.
2? We're trying to figure out how much money we earn in 6.5 hours right here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't know that. That's an unknown. So I'm probably going to replace that with some kind of a variable. That's our unknown, right? We don't know how much money we're going to make, but that's what we're trying to figure out, how much money we make in 6.5 hours, right? In 6.5 hours. Okay. Guys, proportions. I'm going to just be honest with you. Easiest thing in the world to do. You could just listen to me, okay? We talked about cross products, right? You have a cross product here. You have a cross product there, right? Which cross product has 2 numbers? Okay, here's how you solve them. I always circle, I like to circle the cross product that has both numbers in it, okay? So in this case, 24 and 6.5, right? Right? Okay, cross product that out for me. 24 times 6.5, what have you got? 156. Now, isn't there a number that we didn't circle? 2. Solving proportions, listen to the phrase. When you have an unknown in a proportion, cross multiply, and when I say cross multiply with 2 numbers. The statement you're going to put at it is then and divide. Cross multiply, then divide. Well, what are you going to divide with? What haven't I used yet? What value haven't I used yet? 2. Okay, so you're going to take that 156 and divide it by what? 2. What do you get?
78.
How much?
78.
$78. Okay, so listen up here quickly. we think that x is 78. Guys, I have a question. Check it out. If this was 78, what's 78 times 2?
56.
Wasn't that the same as this one right here?
Yeah.
Cross multiply, then what when you're solving these?
Divide.
Cross multiply and
Divide.
divide. So let's look at this first example, and I'll have you try a couple on your own, and I think you'll be on your way with this. Backing up right here, the answer to this is we're going to earn $78 in 6 1/2 hours, right? Okay. And $78 in 6 1/2 hours. You okay with that? All right. So let's take a look at this one right here. 18 over 42 equals 3 over t. We want to figure out what the t value is right here. We don't know the t. What two numbers should I circle first?
42 and 3.
42 times 3. Go 42 times 3, and then what are you going to divide by to solve that?
18.
18. So you'll go 42 times 3, and then divide that by 18,
And then you get your t.
and you got your t value, which is going to be 7. Okay, so the next two that you have, 16 over p equal to 10 over 45, and 9 over b equal 1.5 over 7. Take a second and cross multiply and divide those out to solve that proportion for your unknown there. Solve for that variable. So the two numbers that are across from each other, cross multiply 42, right? You take 42 times 3.
7.
Okay, and then whatever that is, you divide by the last number that you didn't circle. Divide by your value. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cross multiply, then divide. Okay. And guys, maybe I should write this right up here. Solving your proportions. The rule is to cross multiply, then to what?
Divide.
Then to divide. Cross multiply first, then divide. Okay, so I'll give you about 30 more seconds on this. I'll give you about 30 more seconds. Hi. Almost done, Bree. Okay, cross multiply, then divide. All right, so how about this next one? What'd you guys get for your p-value?
72.
How many have 72 for that?
I do.
Okay, what was your process? What did you do?
16 times 45.
16 times 45, that's 720.
Divided by 10.
Divided by 10. 720 divided by 10, got you. P equal to 72. Okay, are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. How about the next one? You
I
have what?
guess I'm fine with it.
What's that?
I guess I'm fine with it.
Good.
Yes.
9 times what, guys?
9 times 7.
9 times 7, you should have gotten, oh, I hope 63 for that.
Yeah.
And then you took 63 and divided by 1.5. I hope you got 42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How you guys feel about this?
42, you said?
42 is what I say. Guys, what's that you say? 42 is what I
Okay, then.
Never mind. But anyways, can I do it or not? Not so good. I ain't so good.
Yeah,
I.
I,
How you guys feel about this?
I,
Questions you got?
no.
I have a short book page. I'll write it down for you. Do you guys have everything written down?
Yeah.
Everybody got it down? Cole, did you get it all, buddy? Got it?
Right now.
Let me know when you're done with that, okay, kiddo? Let me grab my book here for a second, and I will definitely tell you what to do. Guys, I don't want you to forget about your test. Remember, you have till Wednesday to retake that if you're choosing to do so. Okay? So get in here and let me know when you want to do that. Book page-wise, this will be due on Monday. Okay? Due on Monday. And, where was it? I had it written down. It is right there.
Yeah, but
And
do we need to do the quick quiz?
yeah, get this written down first, and then I'll have you fill that quick quiz off there, John. Okay? All right, kiddos, here's what I want you guys to do. Colton, did you get that all written down, bud?
Yep.
Okay. On page 808. I guess you could do the backwards part of this page too. Okay. Get
Wait,
it?
come on.
I bet you Bob really likes to do page 808.
My uncle
I'm
Bob.
confused.
Bob, B-O-B, backwards
B.O.B.,
is
that's
Or
Bob.
Or Booby.
808. Hey, page 808, I want you guys to do problems 9 through 20. And I want this due for
So how's your day going?
Monday.
It's good.
Okay, kiddos? So I'll leave that up there for you. Quick quiz. Why don't you guys peel that off the notes that you have? Try and get that. Oops, what is going on here?